So this is my review of the NSK70 Fiji Cube protein skimmer. I thought I'd do a review because the only review I've seen so far was from Bulk Reef Supply, and they're not independent. They always give good reviews, but hey, they're salesmen. So I thought I'd give it a go. So far, the impressions have not been great, but at the same time, I only paid $150 for it, and I kind of love the size of this skimmer. There's a lot of micro skimmers and hang on back skimmers that are good for, 20-gallon tanks. My tank is a 10-gallon sump and 30-gallon tank, and there really aren't any great options in that range, in my opinion, especially that are reasonably priced. And for 150 bucks for a DC skimmer, that's really not that bad. That being said, I'm kind of miffed. They didn't give me the sponge that they advertise in the BRS video and on the website. I believe it's supposed to go around the bottom here and prevent bubbles from getting back in the tank. Um, I've never really cared about micro bubbles in my tank. I don't think it harms anything. Some people hate that for the looks, but I'm a bit of a gearhead, so I'm just happy if it works properly. This is the DC pump. This thing's kind of interesting. I've never seen a pump where the input is just DC. It's not 3 pins like usual brushless DC motors. So I imagine the driver or the electronics are in here. But that's kind of weird because you dial the speed with this thing. I guess it probably just gives 24 to 0 volts to the pump, and the pump handles the rest, but kind of an interesting DC pump. I could, take it apart and figure out how it's working, but I don't want to do that. I paid 150 bucks for this thing, and I don't want to rip it apart. But hopefully it's a real brushless DC motor. It'd be kind of weird if it wasn't. Besides that, one thing that's been really kind of irritating is this is how it connects to the bottom of the skimmer. The short end, the short end goes into the pump and the long end goes in the top. But it was, I don't know if this is a factory defect, but if you see, I don't know if you can see this on video, that is not centered. And I've tried to force it, and all that got me was breaking this. You can kind of see that crack there. I'm not going to bother returning it because that's something Fiji Cube is notorious for, is long shipping times and terrible customer support. For the foam, I'll just cut new foam. I don't really care that it's missing. I'm kind of annoyed with the pump, and I'm really annoyed with this because this attachment point means I cannot set this upright in my sump. It will fall over. Luckily for me, that's fine. If I really had to, I could 3D print an adapter and make it stand up straight. It's just annoying. Anyway, I haven't set it up and actually seen the performance yet, so I'll add that after this. I decided to take this apart. I'm an engineer, so I find this stuff interesting. I was worried it was just a potentiometer and that there'd be a lot of heat loss because it's only a 13-watt pump, so they do make pots that can handle that kind of wattage. But no, it's a DC to DC step-down converter, it looks like. Interesting. So after 2 weeks, my impressions have been pretty good. It took about 5 days to break in. I really like the adjustments on here. You can adjust the water level by turning the top and adjusting the DC skimmer speed. DC motor speed works really well. I think if you really wanted to, you could get whatever kind of foam you wanted out of this thing. It produces a pretty dark skimmate, at least from what I'm used to. I'm coming from a hang-on back Bullet 1 from Aqua Ready, I think. And that thing, I could never get a very dry skim out of it. But this thing, I think with the right adjustment, you could get a very dry skim or a wet skim. The container is very large. That's one thing I've really liked about it. I don't think I'm emptying it more than every like 4 days. It really takes a while to fill up. It's also pretty quiet, especially if you run it at a specific speed. Like I have all my pumps off. I don't know if this will come off in the video, but that's full speed. And then that's like 60% maybe. And then if you really wanted to set it super low, you could do that. I don't think it'll produce much skim if you have it like that though. And then you can set it all the way to the bottom. It doesn't stop the pump, but it barely pulls in any water. So whenever I turn off my sump pump, the water level will rise and the skimmer will go crazy if I don't set it very low. But yeah, it's been pretty good. I was worried about the friction fit in the bottom coming out. That has not been an issue. I really like the attachment on the top. You can pull out the skimmer cup really easily, and despite it coming out easily, it seems to seal well. It's got a O-ring on the bottom that works. So yeah, that's my review. Oh, and I cut foam to replace the missing one, and it works. I don't really notice any excess bubbles escaping from the skimmer. So yeah, you know, it's not perfect by any means, but for the price and the DC skimmer and the adjustment and the way it fits in my tank, this is perfect for me. If you're planning on doing like a 10-gallon sump, I think this is a really competitive option.